Hawkins, number 6 on our Season 4 leaderboard. He's looking to qualify for the Players' Championship, making a deep run here with his Grixis Twin deck. We did watch him yesterday. He took care of Caleb Scherer playing Storm. And this should be fun because Slivers is fun. Though, keep in mind, again, Adam, even though it appears to be a fun deck, he hasn't lost, actually.
And his win yesterday against Jeskai Twin was very, very impressive. A card that stood out to me with this deck was Necrotic Sliver. That card is no joke.
No, that's a real Magic
That's
card.
a real card. I forgot what it did, and then when I saw it in play, I was very impressed.
Gale Rider Sliver is where Bowman's going to start. Serum Vision's here for Hawkins. He's down to 18. Cavernous Souls will make counter magic pretty poor, as of course it is naming Sliver.
A nice benefit of playing Bowman's deck here is his lands make him very, very good against counter spells. Yep. Not only does he have 4 copies of Cavernous Souls, naturally very good, 4 copies of Sliver Hive and 4 copies of Mutavault give him a little bit more staying power of his lands as well. So generating a lot of value that way.
Bowman will draw. And here comes the Gale Rider Sliver for 1. Down to 17 goes Hawkins. Is there a follow-up is the question.
Also because his mana base is naturally, it's pretty sensitive. There's 5 colors worth of slivers in here. Having 2 different sets of 5-color lands that generate value in other ways, Cavern of Souls making counter spells bad, and Sliver Hive giving you a late game, is also very good for Bowman. The non-sliver spells in this deck, 4 copies of Aether File, 4 copies of Collected Company, and 2 main deck Abrupt Decays.
How about another Sliver? Well, no, that's a new one. Yep, Eric is going to take a look-ski-poo.
I believe that's Frost Titan Sliver, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that's what it's called.
You don't think that's what it's called? You don't think it's Frost Titan Sliver?
You know what I meant.
I do.
Boom, Diffusion Sliver.
Yes. So you try to kill one of these things, you got to pay 2 more to do so.
That's going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt off the table for quite a while here.
Actually a pretty nice ability.
Very good against Kolagon's command. That card's very hard to cast.
Yep. There are 3 copies of Diffusion Sliver in Adam's deck. It's funny because I think most of the people who are watching, if we say counter slivers, a lot of people don't even know what that means.
Yep.
With Crystalline Sliver and company. That was a real deck way back in the day.
There was a point where the depth of slivers was much better than the depth of Merfolk, and it kind of played that Merfolk role. But since the deck was 5 colors, or 4 colors, you got to play with things like Lightning Bolt and Swords to Plowshares alongside your counter spells. So it was one of the first really powerful, aggressive decks backed up by some counter spells.
Here's an Inquisition of Kozilek. We'll get to take a look at Bowman's hand. 2 Blur Slivers, along with Collected Company and a Forest. Blur Sliver, 3 mana, 2/2. All slivers get haste. I know that one. This is the true test of our card knowledge here.
I'm not batting a great percentage with these.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
If we had the Wrath Cycle slivers out here,
you'd be killing it.
Crystalline Sliver and Hibernation Sliver and so on, I'd be good.
Blur Sliver, uncounterable, beatdowns.
Uncounterable, flying, hard to target, haste.
Your turn.
That's what I get for 3 mana. What do you get?
Collected Company coming soon.
And Abrupt Decay was the draw last turn for Bowman. And that's a huge draw because you get the sense here, but Hawkins is not going to be able to really keep up with removal because of Diffusion Sliver. So his best route now is just to combo out. And one of the 2 main deck Abrupt Decays showing up is excellent for Bowman. He has a Forest and Overgrown Tomb, so he can cast it. Abrupt Decay is not the easiest for him to cast with his Mutavaults and his 5-color lands that only facilitate slivers.
Cavern of Souls out the top of the deck. Here come the beatdowns. Cavern, of course, going to name Sliver. And that was land number 4 that was necessary to cast Collected Company.
And this is a lot of patience here from Bowman, which I really like. He could have very easily just gone for Collected Company, especially with Blur Sliver in play. You'd imagine that's a pretty attractive line.
Yeah.
But he respects the possibility of getting comboed out. He's just going to sit on Abrupt Decay.
I like sitting on Abrupt Decay here.
Same. You see a hand here with Kolagon's command, for example.
It's so bad.
Lightning Bolt. These are hard cards to use.
Is it time for a Jace, perhaps? Sure. Jace can't even block right now. Collected Company. Remand.
Now I think you might see Bowman go for the line where he pre-combat Collected Companies.
Because he's
not at risk of getting comboed out.
Yeah, he could hit 2 Sinew Slivers here, or some sort of double Muscle Sliver combination. They'll have haste, pump the team. Let's see what he finds here. Sedge Sliver.
Oh, he's got Swamp.
Here's a Swamp. Oh, yes. Sedge Sliver, Predatory Sliver. See ya. See you later, baby. Adam Bowman's going to win game number 1 here over Eric Hawkins.
Oh, yeah. That's the stuff.
Slivers up a game this morning over Grix's twin. Has a Swamp for the Sedge Sliver.
Oh, yeah.
It gives them all +1/+1. And they have haste and flying and can't be targeted, really. And the beatdowns begin.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Good morning.
Welcome to SCG Live, everybody. We take a look at the sideboard here for Eric Hawkins. 2 Dispel, Grim Lavamancer, Negate, a Go for the Throat, and Izzet Staticaster. 2 Anger of the Gods, Kolaghan's Command, Glenlinger Archmage, Olivia Voldaren, Damnation, Mole Drifter, Murderous Cut, Keranos God of Storms. He's got a lot of good options.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Grim Lavamancer, the spot removal spells like Go for the Throat. I think even Kolaghan's Command, yes, it looks bad in the face of Diffusion Sliver, but I still think it's a reasonable card to have. The Damnation is excellent. Murderous Cut, Olivia Voldaren. He's got great options for this matchup.
On the other side of things here for Adam Bowman, I bet there's a bunch of slivers in the sideboard.
A Bone Scythe Sliver, Siphon Sliver, Telekinetic Sliver, 2 copies of Abrupt Decay, a Dark Heart Sliver, 3 copies of Harmonic Sliver, 2 Sliver Hive Lords, and a Shadows Sliver. I definitely like bringing in the additional copies of Abrupt Decay in this matchup. I think the Shadows Sliver is fine. Hawkins does a reasonable amount of blocking. And he brought in the Sliver Hive Lord in a similar matchup yesterday, and that was against a deck that had Path to Exile in it, that had a good answer to Sliver Hive Lord. Hawkins playing Grixis colors is probably much more vulnerable to it. So if he brought it in there, I imagine it's coming in now again.
I can only hope. I want to see that vial go up to 5 like last time, right?
In response, Violet in response to Damnation. No, not trying to do any spoiler alerts here, but this could be sweet.
Well, these players will shuffle up. Get ready here for game number 2. Eric Hawkins will be on the play. We'll take a look at our Season 4 leaderboard here on the Open Series. You see Kevin Jones, Danny Jessup, Jim Davis. They already qualified. That's what the trophy next to their name dictates. But as we're here in season number 4, we're giving away 7 at-large bids. So the first 7 unqualified names, you'll find 5 here, they'd be going to the Players' Championship.
It effectively plays out as 8 because we also have the season 4 point leader. So that's how it's going to shake out here. You see 5 players on the list right now on page 1, not already qualified. Kevin Jones, Danny Jessup, Jim Davis, they've already solidified their slots in the Players' Championship via points. We go to the next page. You'll see Joe Lissette, Todd Anderson. Logan Mize would be the last one out, but remember there's the at-large bid, so he's kind of the 8th person at this point. Ross Merriam, Rudy Brisca, Matthew Tickle, and so forth, a little bit behind.
That's the race. And it's going to be one heck of one. We've got a lot of dates here on Season 4. We're going to Worcester next weekend, of course, Milwaukee after that. And I expect to see these players at a lot of these events. You know, there's just going to be a lot of fluctuation on the leaderboard. And every point certainly does count. If someone's able to win one of these things, and we've said this so many times this year, but all it takes is one win to either propel yourself into the race or really move yourself very far ahead of everybody else.
If you look at the middle of the pack of the people who are currently qualified, 25 points is enough for the second tier of players currently to shoot up into that spot. So one good Open Series performance can have a lot of implications for what that leaderboard looks like.
And this weekend, first place, $5,000, 25 Open Series points, and invite to our Season 4 Invitational. It's going to be fun to watch it shake out. It could be Adam Bowman who actually walks away with this thing with his crazy Slivers deck. Heck of a game to watch there, but it could be Eric Hawkins too, the Minnesota player, who is starting to make a name for himself here in the Open Series. 31 years old, from St. Paul, Minnesota. 1 Open Series top 8, but well on his way to a second one here. He's off to a great start here at 8-1 this morning. Makes his living by playing Magic and poker, so he's a card player through and through. Loves his Disney movies, and he is a sports guy. Plays basketball regularly, so I'm thinking you guys should team up. Looks pretty tall.
Yep.
Probably pretty good in the post.
Yep.
Loves hockey, football, and baseball too, but you know, I could see a little 1-2 punch for the two of you.
I would love to dial up some side pick and rolls, feel each other out.
Go to the local court, challenge some people.
Yep.
I know Jim Davis always looking for a game.
Yes.
Maybe you and Eric versus maybe Jim and Danny Jessup.
Sure. I got to get in some burn earlier this year in Chicago with Jessup and Jim Davis.
Real competitive game. We could get Nick Miller on coverage. I know he had the camera phone out last time.
Yeah. Doing a little stealth reporting.
Yeah, got a good look at Danny Jessup's jump shot. Looks like he's got something there.
A little guerrilla journalism.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah. You got to get the footage somehow. I understand.
Game number 2 going to be underway here in just a moment between Eric Hawkins and Adam Bowman. If you're looking for a deck tech with Adam Bowman, don't worry, it's coming. It is coming. I know everyone loves slivers. We do here in the booth as well. So when we get the opportunity to sit down with Adam and his crazy deck and how the heck he is 8-1, we're definitely going to do that.
The mana base here is delightful. 4 Mutavault, 4 Cavernous Souls, 4 Sliver Hive. That's easy, right? 1 Forest, 2 Overgrown Tomb, a Wooded Foothills, 2 Windswept Heath, a Breeding Pool, and a Blood Crypt.
Whatever it takes.
You need to be able to cast Abrupt Decay.
Yep.
You need to be able to cast Collected Company. That's sort of like casting Abrupt Decay. You need to have that checked. You need a Swamp for Sedge Sliver. These are the requirements of your mana base.
His mana base is, as far as a 5-player deck goes, it's got a pretty good mana base.
Yeah.
Not hard to do what you want to do. I mean, Sliver Hive and Cavernous Souls just make it pretty easy.
Though I don't know if this is necessarily a budget issue or something else, but I think the 2 Windswept Heath in this deck are just better served as Wooded Foothills, because his dual lands are overgrown. He has Forest, Overgrown Tomb, Breeding Pool, Blood Crypt. So he can't get Blood Crypt with the Windswept Heath, but Wooded Foothills gets all of them.
Sure. Hawkins taking a look at his opening hand. He'll be on the play, remember. Looks like both players are going to keep. We are underway here. Polluted Delta is where Eric will start. Sliver Hive into Aether Vial. Hawkins will sacrifice Polluted Delta. Vial clearly fantastic from the Slivers deck. That's a bold statement to say it's the best Aether Vial deck.
Well, I think that it's probably more helpful for Bowman to have it than your average Merfolk deck, because he's going to be in spots where he can't cast his creatures, and I think more of his creatures are impressive at instant speed. Not only does he have lords, but he has things that, you know, can fizzle removal spells and give flying out of nowhere. So I don't know if necessarily one of these decks is the better Aether Vial deck of the two, but certainly there's some real power coming from it for the Sliver deck that Merfolk doesn't necessarily get.
There's Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. And it looks like Bowman was just a one-lander, so he is very reliant on Aether Vial. And Jace is going to activate. Hawkins will draw and discard. Adam is hoping there's no Kolaghan's Command in his future, though I think Eric may have one. He'll sacrifice Scalding Tarn. See what land Hawkins wants to search up here. He'll go with the basic mountain. And I think we're going to see Kate Command.
I would hope so.
And there's also Deceiver Exarch over there too, jeez.
I'm not giving it up on a Kolaghan's Command here.
No, me either. Yep, there it is. Destroy target artifact. And perhaps make him discard. Gale Rider Sliver will be put through the vial here. And I'll discard Collected Company. Pretty far away from that card. Forest is the draw. Well, he's got something cooking now.
The issue here is it's going to be hard for him to remove Jace from the table.
Yep.
And that's going to do a lot of damage here.
Sinew Sliver is the play. Gale Rider Sliver gets a little bit bigger. 2/2 Flyers out there. Island the draw. You can see Hawkins has got a Lightning Bolt lined up here, and you mentioned Jace is going to be pretty hard for Bowman to remove.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, he's set up for a flashback on Kolaghan's Command. He can Lightning Bolt something if he wants to, and I don't think Bowman's going to have enough resources to work with here.
Jace will start at 5. We'll see where it goes. Jace starts with a ton of loyalty.
Yes.
There's a Telepath Unbound, San Diego Comic-Con version. Water Grave going to enter the battlefield on tap. Jace moving down. Kolaghan's Command going to be flashback. Sinew Sliver make you discard. He's just going to grind him down.
Yep.
There goes Abrupt Decay.
Wouldn't even be surprised here to see a Lightning Bolt here finish off the other Sliver, just as a way to try to protect Jace. Because if Hawkins gets to plus Jace, then he gets to minus again the following turn. That's another removal spell. And with Bowman already being 2 for 1 several times, that's going to be hard to beat.
Predatory Sliver is the play. But that's an easy one for Hawkins to take care of. Snapcaster Mage the draw. Scalding Tarn coming on down. The hand right now, Snapcaster Mage, Lightning Bolt, Deceiver Exarch here for Eric Hawkins. Bowman will draw. He'll play Sinew Sliver. And that'll make Predatory Sliver a little bit bigger.
I think this is now is time for Snapcaster Bolt. Clear that out.
Take care of the Sinew Sliver. Get your block on.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hawkins has had a 2-for-1 basically every turn. Oh, it's actually better than a 2-for-1 because the initial sliver was shrunk via Jace.
Yeah, that one felt like a 2 for none.
Yeah, Snapcaster Mage is still in play, so. I undersold how good the exchange was for Hawkins.
This is a pretty good one.
My bad.
That's okay. It's early. Still getting the coffee in. But this one is this one feels like a runaway here for Eric Hawkins. Much different than the first game. Hawkins will take a draw step. Scalding Tarn. Snapcaster Mage coming in the red zone. Bowman down to 18. Jace is moving up. Nothing to flashback just yet. There's Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn back over to Adam Bowman.
I think in that spot there might have been an argument there for Eric to use Deceiver Exarch on a land just to prevent Collected Company from resolving for a turn.
Just the off, can't see Peels and land.
And the odd chance he pails a land, because the only way Bowman can catch up into this game is by resolving Collected Company, and I don't think Hawkins has an answer right now.
I believe a Sentinel Sliver has joined the battlefield here for Adam Bowman. Hawkins will search up Steam Vents. It is the 2/2 that gives all your slivers vigilance. Hawkins will draw. Jace will move up. Snapcaster will come in. And Hawkins will pass the turn back. Bowman will start the turn at 16. There is land number 4. It's a Sliver Hive. Collected Company could be on the way. Well, Eric Hawkins does have quite a few good cards right now. We'll head back Hawkins' way.
Yeah, Bowman just going to sit tight and try to collect a company in a turn.
Sarah Vision's the draw here for Eric. He'll start his turn there. Not a bad place to start at all. Time to draw a card. And scry 2, of course. Looking for a Splinter Twin to get this one over. It's going to leave Sarah Vision's on top. Deceiver Exarch will go to the bottom. Desolate Lighthouse is the land for the turn. Jace will tick up. Sentinel Sliver will slow down. Hawkins knows about Collected Company, so it looks like Snapcaster Mage not going to move into the red zone.
You're not allowed to be gained here.
Yeah.
There is the option where he could have attacked with Snapcaster Mage just to force the issue on the Collected Company. Maybe Lightning Bolt prevents him from getting blown out if there's only one Lord in the equation. And then you can use Jace to flashback removal spell this turn. It looks like Hawkins is just going to play a little bit more conservatively.
Well, Collected Company did resolve. It did not get countered. Didn't find anything, but it did resolve.
It looks like Bowman has brought in Telekinetic Sliver as a way to try to break up the combo.
Yep. But he was unable to find anything. So now I can't imagine Adam's able to work his way out of this. Sedge Sliver's the play. And he does have a Swamp and Overgrown Tomb. But boy, is this going to be tough. There's Lightning Bolt. A little surprised to see no regeneration there.
This was, I believe that was in response to the Sedge Sliver.
Then that would make more sense. There's the Serum Visions. Somebody found a Splinter Twin finally. So we are what I feel is one turn away. Jace will tick up. Sedge Sliver will slow down. And Hawkins will just cast another copy of Serum Visions. Draw that Splinter Twin. Scry. There's another Splinter Twin on top of the deck along with a Grim Lavamancer.
I don't mind taking a second Splinter Twin in this spot because Hawkins has 2 Exarchs and 1 Twin, and Bowman could realistically have a removal spell for either the Twin or your first Exarch, so I don't mind having backup.
He could rip Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
No, he just draws and plays Predatory Sliver, so The coast is incredibly clear. Jace will move down a little bit. There is the Exarch. The twin is coming, and that is going to do it. Eric Hawkins is going to win game number 2 here over Adam Bowman. Grix's twin, Slivers, getting ready for game number 3. Pretty simple stuff there. Eric, great draw. Keep control of those slivers. And pretty elementary from there.
Yeah, Bowman was all in on the Aether Vial. Not even clear he could have won through all that removal, even if his Vial stuck. But Kolaghan's command, stripping a card out of his hand, killing the Vial, stunning his development, and then it was bolts and snapcasters and Jaces for days.
We went to easy mode from there, I think. Well, Season 4 schedule here in the Open Series. We are underway. It kicked off last weekend in New Jersey at our Season 3 Invitational, but this is our first individual date here in Cincinnati, and next weekend, we're going to Worcester.
Yep, then Milwaukee, we're going to take a week off for the Battle of Zendikar pre-release, and then go to Indianapolis for the first Standard Open Series with that set. Atlanta. After that, we'll take a few weeks off. Legacy in St. Louis, then a Modern Open in Dallas, Standard in Philadelphia. After that, at Grand Prix Atlanta will be sealed. More information about that event as we get a little bit closer. Kansas City will be Standard, then a Legacy Open in New Jersey, Standard in Denver. After that, the Season 4 Invitational in Las Vegas, Nevada. Standard and Modern as the Invitational formats with a 2-day $20,000 Standard Open Series event, December 11th through the 13th. And a week after that, the Players Championship, Roanoke, Virginia, Star City Games headquarters, December 19th and 20th to close out the year.
Of course, for all of those dates you play in the main event, you will get the Hop-In Rabbit Master playmat, free limited edition playmat, available at all Open Series competitors until December 5th. Nothing after the fact. You sign up for the main event, you're getting one of these things.
Absolutely, and it'll be running through the Open in Denver, so lots of opportunities to pick this up.
And we didn't even talk about that much. First time we're going back to Denver in what feels like 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. I don't think I've been to Denver since, I want to say, the Legacy Grand Prix there a couple of years back.
Same here, 2 years ago. And it was at the very beginning of 2013.
Yeah. It's a great city, though.
It's pretty sweet. And in case you're wondering, I already checked the dates.
No Nuggets game?
No Nuggets, no Avalanche.
Disappointing.
How is that possible?
I know.
If one team's not at the Pepsi Center, the other team should be there.
I
They
agree.
can't both be on the road at the same time. This is the life that we live.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost like they don't consult with us before setting the schedules.
A classic mistake.
A classic mistake. You're down at least 2 tickets sold.
Mm-hmm. 2 cheap tickets, mind you.
Whatever your cheapest tickets are in the building, you're
down those.
Yep.
Adam Bowman with his Slivers deck, really been one of the talks of this tournament. We'll see if he can get it done one more time. Again, his only loss was round 1. Got here a little late in Cincinnati. Had to take a loss. Said he wanted to still play anyway. And play he has. Play he has.
It's been great, too. Last round was so great. Just because we've had matches before where someone's making a deep run with an unorthodox deck, and they're playing against a stock good deck, and we kind of cut in game 3, and it looks like the person playing the cute deck is going to lose to just a random selection of stock good cards. And Bowman was able to dig out a game that looked like he was beaten, mostly because Necrotic Sliver plus Sliver Hive was
really good.
Very, very good. So it was great to see that.
Sliver Hive, a nice addition to this deck. Really not very talked about.
The big thing to me is just having your mana be reliable. With Sliver Hive and Cavern of Souls, you're pretty reliable being able to cast your slivers, and you still get to play 4 copies of Mutavault. The game we watched was this weird game that dragged out for a long time, and Sliver Hive activating was a significant part of it. I don't think that's happening in most games in Modern. Format's very fast. But just having reliable mana fixing, very powerful for a deck that's playing with 5-color spread slivers.
Just saw Todd Anderson walk by with the match slip. Todd second place coming into today, playing Infect. So now he is 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to him.
Trying to run down Chris Anderson, the lone undefeated in this tournament.
Not an easy task. Not an easy task. Anderson having one heck of a tournament with this Affinity deck. The addition of Hangerback Walker and Shrapnel Blast have looked pretty good. Really just taking the base of Blue-Red Thopters from Standard, putting that kind of into the deck.
Yep. And I think once you have Hangerback Walker in the deck, you do want more sacrifice outlets than just Arcbound Ravager, because Hangerback Walker that you can sacrifice at a moment's notice is a lot more powerful than a Hangerback Walker you're just sitting there on defense kind of spinning up. So Shrapnel Blast synergizes really nicely, not only because you now can sacrifice your Hangerback Walker more easily, but after you deal 5 to a player, a nice thing to do is have a sea of 1/1 tokens. That's a good way of finishing off the game.
Plus, Affinity loves the flyer.
And makes your cranial plating that much more lethal.
Very true.
So a lot of synergies with that card.
The base of Affinity, it feels like it's already it's built already, so it felt like getting Hangerback Walker into the deck would be difficult, but Chris has clearly found a way.
Yeah.
And also, a card like Hangerback Walker, though it feels like a 4 of, there's nothing to say that you have to play 4 of them.
No, you don't. I think Chris is only on 3.
Yeah, he's only on 3 this weekend, and I kind of like that. Maybe trying a couple first before deciding this is automatically a 4 of.
Well, the second copy is also going to slow your draws down in a lot of games. And Affinity is not the kind of deck that regularly has a mana left over to be activating Hangerback Walker, so I could see the 4th copy, you start running into diminishing return issues.
Another thing, too, I think I like about that card in the deck, in combination with Etched Champion, you got some threats that are really good against like a Jund or Grixis type deck.
Exactly. The decks are trying to overload you. I mean, Hangerback Walker gives you a shot at beating cards like Ancient Grudge.
Yeah. That's some real play against those cards. Both these players are going to take a mulligan, not like the 7 cards that they have. So they'll be looking at 6 here in just a moment. See Jeff Hoagland there in the background. He is in a day 2 at a 6-3 record with his Kiki Core deck. He's looking to head back to the Players' Championship. Joe Lissette barely squeaking into day number 2, playing Green Red Tron this weekend. Also looking to head back to Roanoke at the end of the year. Eric Hawkins looking to go for the first time.
Off to a very, very good start thus far.
Absolutely.
Watched him once yesterday. Mentioned earlier beating Caleb Schur, playing Storm. Eric taking some very aggressive mulligans game 2 and 3, winning both of them on mulligans to 5.
Just got to put together that twin combo. Something that we have not seen in Modern very much here in the Open Series.
A little bit of an uptick, on camera at least. But the last couple of weeks and months, we've seen a lot less twin.
Both these players will take a look at 6 cards. See if Eric likes his opening hand here. Apparently he does not. Down to 5 again.
And I believe Bowman here with a Cavern, an Aether Vial, and a Mutavault. Really good mixture of cards.
Not a bad place to start at all.
And I imagine where Bowman gets a lot of his edge is just he gets a lot more value out of his lands than his opponents are.
You have to imagine he probably has a mana base that gets the most value than anybody, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot going on with what his deck does.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you define the value of Tron's lands, but if you're talking about normal decks that are just sort of playing lands and casting spells, he's way out in front of what they're doing. Hawkins is just, he's got his dual lands and all they're doing is making mana, and Bowman makes his spells uncounterable. He's able to have additional threats.
We'll start it up with a Mutavault and an Aether Vial. To Hawkins we go. Working on diminished resources because of the mulligan of 5, though this can make up for it. Grim Lavamancer's here.
Yeah, this is one of the best cards that Hawkins has in the matchup.
Vial's up to 1. Bowman with a Cavern of Souls, naming Sliver, of course. There's a Sentinel Sliver, Predatory Sliver over there.
Now on 5 cards, Bowman may roll the dice against Hawkins' hand here and assume that he doesn't have basically another fetch land, another land, or Serum Visions in a land.
Try to work his way through this thing.
Once he gets a second Lord in play, it's not that hard for him to be the Lavamancer, but if his first one gets killed, then it's a lot of trouble. So Bowman's got to take a path here. Does he try to do some Vial chicanery to make his creatures large enough that Lavamancer can't kill it? Or does he put a Lord into play, hope that it doesn't die, and then everything's past Lavamancer?
Well, there's Sentinel Sliver. Bowman is drawing a copy of Olivia Voldaren. Basic Swamp. Pass the turn back.
That's a big success here for Bowman.
Bowman does have Mana Weft Sliver in hand as well. Looks like he just picked up a copy of Windswept Heath. Looks like he's going to fire up Mutavault. Beatdowns. Vigilance.
Oh, Vigilance on a Mutavault.
Oh, yeah. Combo.
Perfect.
Combo.
Perfect.
Deck. Predatory Sliver. Does Eric have a removal spell? It does not appear that he does. So he'll have to draw a card. He needs... there's a lot of cards Eric can have here. Fetch land. That's just a Darkslick source, however. And all he can do is pass the turn back. Bowman will sacrifice Windswept Heath.
I think that Hawkins may have the combo. I do not think he has a fourth land or a second red source of mana. But his hand right now, I believe, is Twin, Exarch, Olivia Voldaren. And all that means he can't get a second card in the graveyard easily.
So you're aware your parents have been posted and they are online. Please wait to hand in your, please wait to go look at them to hand in your deck.
Well, Overgrown Tomb is the land that Adam has found. That'll help him start to cast Abrupt Decay in case he runs into one, though he's not there yet.
I mean, if he's got Mana Weft Sliver in hand.
That's true. A sneaky Abrupt Decay.
Sneaky Abrupt Decay.
There's Sliver Hive. Might be Eclectic Company time. Looks like it's Activate Mutavault with Vigilance time.
Because what he can do here is vial in the Mana Weft Sliver and then Collected Company.
Here's Deceiver Exarch. You're loving the combos here.
It's an onion. You just keep peeling back the layers.
Yep, you sure do. Gonna Violet Mana Weft Sliver.
Oh, yeah.
Mutavault probably gonna tap for a mana here.
And one assumes this is all before combat.
So there will be a little bit of conversation just to make sure they sequence things correctly here. We could have a Collective Company in just a moment. Okay, so it's going to be beatdowns here. This could be a bad time to block here potentially for Eric. Especially with the Deceiver Exarch.
Well, remember, he doesn't have the other red mana rolled up just yet.
Yep.
And you gotta, if he believes the card is Collected Company, saying no blocks is also very risky.
It is very risky. Let's play Collective Company, shall we? Take a look at the top six. Diffusion Sliver, Gale Rider Sliver, not very impressive. This also means that Predatory Sliver is going to die.
He does get the Lavamancer off the table for his troubles, but possibly better served just doing that before blocks.
Potentially. However, the problem here is that if Eric Hawkins draws a red source, this game is over. Take a draw. Okay, we know what he's looking for. Going to slow roll himself a bit, Gerard Fabiano style. Touchdown for Eric Hawkins. There's Splinter Twin, and that is going to do it. He's going to win this match over Adam Bowman, 2-1. And Grixis Twin will take care of Slivers. And for Eric Hawkins, number 6 on our Season 4 leaderboard, another victory, moves on to 9-1.
Another victory on another mulligan to 5. We've seen that now a couple times from him.
3 for 3.
3 for 3 on mulligans to 5 and victories on camera. Very nicely done. Definitely a harrowing game there, but Bowman without removal and without the ability to kill before the 4th turn of the game. And we've seen Splinter Twin do that before.
The Collected Companies have not been terribly impressive for Adam. I understand why they're in the deck, of course. There are a lot of good hits in the deck, but thus far have not looked great.
The issue with it is he may just need them to beat removal spells. You know, his deck doesn't have that much card advantage, and without Collected Company, I think it's just going to be very hard for him to beat a bunch of bolts and terminates.
Welcome to round number 1.
Well,